So the Houston Rockets and Rockets fans have been taken through a literal roller coaster over the past year. They went from fighting for their lives back in the first round in the playoffs against OKC in the bubble. They just barely squeaked past by him in 7 games, to then going ahead and getting smacked by the Los Angeles Lakers in 5 games. Just a month or a month and a half later, after recovering from that L, freshly recovered, bro, they go ahead and take another one. And Russell Westbrook's get traded. All this Rockets turmoil, in my mind at least, and when a lot of people started to split up, is once Clint Capella got traded away back in I want to say November, December, or last season or something like that. I don't know. All of a sudden, in the middle of the season, the Rockets go ahead and trade away Clint Capella and the most basic average 3-and-D player that you can think of course, Robert Covington. Then, of course, as I referred to earlier, after their postseason run, Russell Westbrook goes ahead and gets traded to the Washington Wizards. And the final piece of pain that really hurt and shot all Rockets fans in the heart is when James Harden got traded. I ain't gonna lie to you, throughout the whole duration and all the drama that Harden and the Rockets went through, bro, it was reminiscent to me of 2 parents splitting up. It was a nasty divorce, man. That's pain and kind of personal. The Rockets are under so much scrutiny at this time being. They did a lot of things that were kind of sketchy, but at the same time, they were given their props for trying such thing as not having a center out there in your starting 5. None of that worked out, of course, though, and frustrations were at an all-time high, and James Harden decided to take this nasty route of leaving the Houston Rockets, and things were not pretty whatsoever. They didn't get scrutinized for what they received, but they got scrutinized and destroyed by the media for what they could have received. You see, my boy, that is the difference. Instead of ending up with a possible Karis LeVert, or I'm not 100% sure if Ben Simmons was thrown in there, but he was definitely in the mix. Or instead of getting like a Tyler Herro or whatever you want to ask for, bro, they got Victor Oladipo, who was pretty much washed. Dante Exum, this dude named Kurucs from the Brooklyn Nets, and they got, of course, a plethora of picks and pick swaps. Now, what they got, I ain't gonna lie, is it's like an all-time, one of the worst trades of all time when it comes to getting value back. They didn't get any type of value back. And Victor Oladipo just ended up walking this offseason, and he went to the Miami Heat, or he got traded to the Miami Heat, then he re-signed with the Miami Heat. So the Houston Rockets really did nothing that was productive for this James Harden trade, and they were getting clowned, and that clowning ended up getting really bad because they ended up being the worst team in the NBA with only 17 wins. That's so pitiful, bro. They had some insane losing streak, and a lot of people were clowning them for that too, and I ain't gonna lie, I may have been a part of that clowning. But hey, Rockets fans, please forgive me because I'm about to rejoice with you and talk your team up as they should be talking up right now. So the Rockets went ahead and became the worst team in the entire NBA. And I remember, I'm not sure with what team they involved this pick from, but I remember, look, all these videos are off the dome, so correct me if I'm wrong, all right? This is your part of the deal. Shake my hand. They did a pick swap or pick protection with OKC, and if they would have gotten, I think, the 4th or 5th pick, their pick would have gone to OKC, and they would have lost out on their lottery pick, and that would have been a major L. And I honestly may have not been making this video right now, but guess what? I am, because of the fantastic and magnificent job that they've been doing, bro. So it don't even start with Jalen Green. As much as I love him, it don't start with him, bro. It started way before him. And if you know who I'm talking about, I'm about to allude to him right now. I just made a video about him like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. Go ahead and check that out. And that is Kevin Porter Jr. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into him because I literally just made a whole video about him, bro. Go look that up. But the Houston Rockets saw a very talented shooting guard who was super reminiscent, and his one-to-one comparison was to their former star player, aka James Harden, bro. They're actually homies, believe it or not. So they see a player like him up for grabs, and they go ahead and pay what was just a 2nd round pick. That was a fee, just a 2nd round pick. They said say less. I forget what their GM's name is. Raphael Stone. Raphael Stone said say less. I'm on that, bro. And they copped a KPJ, and they sent him through the G League, killing it in the G League, bro. Put up great numbers, and they're like, yo, call this man up, he too good. Showcase his skills and talents. Oh my god, he went from averaging 2 assists to 6 assists in a span of, and not even a span of, with the change of scenery, bro. It was just a change of scenery. I don't blame him, bro. Anyone in Cleveland, bro? Okay, no Cleveland joke. I'm not even gonna do it to him, bro. But just know that KPJ was the first part of them going ahead and changing and rewriting the, how do I want to word it without getting canceled or super hated by the Houston Rockets fan base, they were just being really stupid when it comes to how they handled James Harden, what they received for him. You have to keep in mind that they were injured and they weren't playing to their max potential because, as I just said, they had hella injuries. Christian Wood, the possible most improved player of the year until he got hurt, was out. He was out for the rest of the season. He did something cataclysmic. I don't 100% remember. KPJ was recognized as a possible potential star who had finally found his new home, and he found a city and fans that embraced him for what he is and who he is. And he has just the right amount of vets and young players on his team at that moment in time that'll completely give him his keys and divert to him, bro. It's the KPJ show. And the Houston Rockets were brilliant for doing that and pulling that off. So that's part one of their rebuild, and that's how they started slowly to turn from a laughingstock, one of the most magnificent quick rebuilds I believe in NBA history, possibly if everything goes right. So bam, that goes ahead and happens, and the NBA draft rolls around, the draft lottery specifically. They landed the number 2 overall pick. Who the hell can complain? They just wanted 1, 2, or 3, bro. If you get 1, 2, or 3, then you're set, bro. All 3 of those top prospects are super nice, and they're franchise changing, franchise altering type of players. So for them to land Josh Green was super lit because, hey yo, if a lot of y'all didn't know, KPJ and Jalen Green were already friends, were already homies. And they faced each other back in the G League too, and you can tell that they had some type of chemistry before. It was not known up until that point that they were actually friends, but now you know. They go ahead and land in the NBA draft. Jalen Green, my bad, don't know why I said that, and I'm not in that out, bro. They'll go ahead and land Jalen Green. After Jalen Green, they draft Alfred Sengun. I think he's 6'8". I was about to say 6'10", but he really 6'8", bro. The 6'8" Turkish center. Then they go ahead and draft Josh Christopher. And then they land Usman Garuba. I hope I said his name right, bro. They had one of the most holy crap. I need a water break. I ain't got no water, so I just took a break. So they had one of the best NBA drafts, I think the best NBA draft in a very long time. When it comes to one draft, one take, having an assortment of nice players like that, they had one of the best, bro. And because of their performance in the NBA draft, that has led them to have one of the more promising teams for the future. Jalen Green. KPJ went ahead and supported them possibly drafting Jalen Green. He wanted them to draft Jalen Green. He randomly tweeted out days before the NBA draft that he was a point guard, hinting, throwing all signs out there that, yo, he's willing to adjust his game and be more pass first than score first. Whatever it takes to win, they'll do that as long as they land Jalen Green, and that's exactly what they did. They got Josh Christopher. Him and Jalen Green already played, I think, AAU or something like that. They didn't play high school, but they played AAU together. And of course, the chemistry between those two are out of the roof. Then Alfred Sengun is someone who was not really loved or beloved by a lot of scouts because they saw the slow feeds, questions about his shot, and all those like kind of outdated, weird criticisms of prospects. They let him fall onto their hands, and then someone to put all this together, someone who I view as a low usage but high impact glue guy, is Usman Garuba, or Garaba, whatever his name is, bro. You know who I'm talking about. He's someone who does not require the ball to make an impact at all. He's a defensive monster, a menace, Black Air Force One type of energy out there on the defensive end, and on offense, he's a great facilitator. He's not one to go ahead and make plays, but when it comes to the simple reads, he can do that for you. I ain't gonna lie, it's just so astounding how many pieces that this team was able to acquire off of the worst, I think the worst trade for a superstar in a very, very long time. Now on their roster, they have they could run KPJ at the 1, Jalen Green at the 2, whatever, Jason Tate at the 3. And of course, Jason Tate, I just want to say for 2 seconds, is a defensive menace and also another glue guy, just like who I'm about to mention again, Kevon Martin. I think that's his name. He's the son of an NBA legend. He's also a really great piece, and I love him starting alongside possibly Christian Wood. Don't forget about him. Then again, Usman Garuba. Then outside of, like, they just have so many working parts that my brain just cannot go ahead and focus because there's just so much going on. But one thing that they have to figure out kind of soon or super soon is what the hell they're gonna do with John Wall, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, John Wall could do either one of these two things. He could either be a B about it and not like that KPJ's taking over at the 1 or whatever the case may be, or he could take the CP3 route. And when I say CP3 route, I mean just, of course, you're older, you're declining, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's natural. It happens to the best of us, bro. He could do that, take a step back. I don't know if he's willing to come off the bench, but take a step back, bro, and let KPJ, Jalen Green, Usman Garuba, Josh Christopher, and all the boys do their thing. They also still have Eric Gordon, which is really weird because I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to moving on from this James Harden era, everything got to go, bro. I mean everything. So Eric Gordon really needs to go soon, but John Wall is a piece that I can see either really fitting well alongside these guys or it'll cause some slight tension. But either way, whatever way you want to think about it, bro, at the end of the day, the Houston Rockets went from a complete laughingstock to one of the most respectable and exciting organizations in a span of what, 6, 7, 8, 9 months? That is absurd if you ask me, and I give all the praise in the world to Rafael Stone, who was just thrown in a pile of poop. Daryl Morey got up and left. They lost their head coach, got up and left. Lost their star player, got up and left. Supporting cast, got up and left. Not they. Rafael Stone went ahead and made it happen. Shout out to him. And shout out to all you Houston Rockets fans. So, yeah, man, this is the end of the video. I hope I didn't get too off topic, but it was kind of hard to focus in this video because I have a whole human being in my room right now, and I don't do it. You hear him laughing? So go ahead, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I finally got into my bag. And, you know what I'm saying? Leave a like, and until then, I'll get right with you.